Hey guys, Alex Newman here reporting for The New American. We are in downtown Beijing and we're standing in front of a statue that was donated by the government of China, the Chinese Communist Party. It is supposed to be a mix of a dragon and a jaguar. They're literally calling it, as you see here, the guardian spirit of the dragon and the jaguar. It's supposed to represent the spirit of the cop, and so it represents, depending on who you listen to, the spirit of Communist China joining forces with the spirit of the Amazon and the Brazilian government to guard the Amazon and guard the planet. We thought it was actually a very appropriate and fitting symbol. You see the nice horns on the top. And we've said from the beginning that this really is a spiritual battle. It looks like a political battle. It looks like a battle over climate change or the environment. But it is quite literally a spiritual battle. And the Lord just showed this to us last night. You see COP30. This is an official part of the festivities here. Obviously, if you've been following our reporting for a long time, you know that the Chinese government is continuing to build coal-fired power plants. Of course, we don't hold that against them. People have the right to have energy. People have the right to develop and things like that. But what's happening throughout this whole process is they're using this climate change pretext to dismantle not just the energy infrastructure in the United States and the broader Western world, but our whole economy. They're using it to shut down our industries and move them over to Communist China, move them to places where they don't have the traditions that we have, the liberties that we have, the constitutional protections that we have. And we thought this was a really fitting symbol, and so did they. There's been a lot of criticism of it here in Brazil. We've seen from the news reports, there's been a lot of criticism on social media. People are saying, no, Brazil belongs to Jesus Christ, not these kinds of demonic spirits and entities that they're trying to bring in here. And so, the Brazilian people, they're Catholic people. You may know the picture, the statue of Jesus overlooking the city of Rio, which for a long time was the capital. And so there's a lot of people upset about this thing here. There's a lot of complaining on social media. We're still trying to get a comment from the CCP. We've stopped at their booth. We'll continue trying to do that. But in the meantime, we just thought you should see this. So we'll take a little bit of a wider angle so you can kind of see what's going on here. What it says here is the commemorative sculpture of the COP30. It's actually in English here. COP30 commemorative sculpture, Dragon, Jaguar, Guardian Spirit, Keeper of the Tropical Rainforest. Here's the artist who did it, Huang Jian, as part of the Earth Art Garden. And this was described in the press as an official gift from China to Brazil. Of course, if you know anything about the political situation in Brazil right now, you know that the current so-called president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who's quite unpopular, we have not found one single real supporter, and we've talked to Brazilians everywhere we can. But he is, of course, a hardcore communist. He admits he's a communist. He and his buddy Fidel Castro and the communist terrorists in Colombia and Nicaragua formed the Sao Paulo Forum to take over this whole region for communism, and they said so explicitly. Here you see this demonic entity holding the world in its hands, and of course we know that God is sovereign, not Satan and his demons. But a fascinating story. We really regard this as a perfect and very fitting symbol of this entire conference, and so we hope you'll share this, folks. You're not going to probably see this in most of the fake media in America. They're too busy worrying about the nitty-gritty of the agreement. Are we going to phase out fossil fuels and other such nonsense? Of course, they're not going to phase out fossil fuels in China. They're not going to phase out fossil fuels in the Arab world. They're not going to phase out fossil fuels down here. That's really just for the suckers in the United States, Europe, and other advanced countries that are at least still loosely based on biblical principles. Thanks, guys. Go to The New American. We'll have much more for you. And until then, God bless you all.